Ladies and gentlemen, hit subscribe right now to this channel, to my super chat. I cannot do this without you, ladies and gentlemen. Your super chat support is greatly appreciated. If you want to talk about real wages down 4 to 5%, actually very likely more than that, a recession, geopolitical nightmare in Europe, and the fact that they're trying to tell everyone to focus on Trump. Why? Because the economy is tanking, like I said it would. I predicted all of this last September. And in terms of geopolitics, we're heading towards possible Armageddon. Eric, H526, hello. Kristen, hello. Everyone here love trucks. Ghost Dog, everybody here, thank you so very much for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, hit subscribe to my super chat. Thank you so much. Justice Department asking if Trump stashed documents in Trump Tower. This is Rolling Stone. Investigators have quizzed multiple witnesses, meaning people who just don't like Trump were told the DOJ or the Bureau. D'Artagnan Valentino, hello! Starting it off, thank you, sir. D'Artagnan, thank you. To my super chat, thank you so much. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you get kicked off for some reason, just log back on. Sometimes that happens during the live streams. But investigators have quizzed multiple witnesses about whether Trump is holding sensitive documents and other properties outside Mar-a-Lago, including at his Manhattan Tower and his New Jersey club. They are going to treat him like Al Capone, like the greatest suspect in the most sprawling criminal investigation known to man, so people don't realize that they are losing money in their paycheck because Mashed Potato Brains and his bumbling, stumbling administration are completely and utterly inept. So what's really going on is they're going to investigate Trump, and they're going to raid other properties. I was talking about this weeks ago, and I said, look, they're probably going to raid other properties. It's almost certainly going to happen. And they're going to do so because they need a public relations victory. They are presiding over a terrible economy. The economy is in free fall. The market went down 600 or so today. You're going to see a Lehman Brothers moment. You're going to see more Bernie Madoffs, Ponzi schemes, those types of things, too big to fail banks. This will be a repeat of 2008. Okay? And they don't have anything. There's nothing that they've actually followed through on. They have pumped 180 million barrels of oil into this economy, while at the same time pontificating about climate. Hunter is either going to get a plea deal or indictment. And then you get people, it's like, my God, I love everyone, all my viewers, and I understand the mentality, but there's some people, nothing's ever going to happen, okay? Nothing's ever going to happen. It's like, yeah, Rome wasn't built in a day. Even if it's true that there's a reason for the speculation that Hunter's going to get indicted, that doesn't mean that there's nothing like positive that will come from it. Okay, the criminal activity is very likely so profound that they have to address it before Republicans begin impeachment proceedings. Okay, Joe's going to get impeached, ladies and gentlemen, and Democrats do not want any loose ends. They don't want Hunter not indicted or not engaging in a plea deal. Okay, because the thing is, the thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that with Hunter, there is a great deal of graft, bribery, obvious criminality. It's pretty obvious. It's stated within his emails and within the 150 suspicious banking transactions. And within people do not, billionaires, corporations around the world, wealthy individuals in other countries do not give money to Bill and Hillary or Joe and Hunter because they care about their thoughts on geopolitics. They give money for access to the U.S. government, to alter U.S. foreign policy. That's why they give money. That's why they give money. Okay, they don't give money because they care about the Bidens or the Clintons. That's not why they give money. They give money because, thank you, David. Thanks, everybody. They give money because they want something in return. Gee, Kajillian, hello. They give money because they want something in return. DUN, hello. It's like they know that they have a public relations disaster with the economy, with the stock market, with a recession, with inflation at 8 to 9%, food prices going up, oil prices are going to go up, diesel prices are going to go up, food prices are going to go up. They know they have this problem. When you go to the store, let me ask you this. Here's a question. Let's engage with the audience, it says here. It says here, engage with the audience. D. Artanu, thank you for starting off the super chat. How high have your food costs gone up when you go to the grocery store? The supermarket. Okay. Up by at least 20%. Up by at least 50. Okay, so because they're saying on average food costs have only gone up about 10%, which is an obvious lie. But how high have your food costs gone up? When you go to the supermarket, you tell me, okay, at least 20%. Okay? I find sometimes that for me, it's gone up 50% or more. I think most people would say 20 plus percent, but sometimes when I go, I think that I mean, I'm looking at like 3 or 4 bags of groceries or 5 bags of groceries, and it's $150, $160, sometimes even $200. And um, you have a situation, ladies. You have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where we have a situation where the only obsession Democrats and media have is Trump. And that's because when people like it is more expensive in this America, and when they talk about, oh well, Trump, he was a wrecking ball to the system. Well, is this good? Is this good? Is this exactly, Ricarda? Is this a good way of living? Do you think that Biden's America is a good place to live with crime and homeless? Eric, my man, Eric, thank you so very much. Eric, thank you so very, very much. Greatly appreciated to my super chat. Thank you. People sometimes are like, oh, well, you know, your shout outs, you give too many shout outs. And like, look, you know what? If people are nice enough, and I'm not even like doing anything, I'm not like, you know, doing some kind of certain type of fans thing, you know, or a CNN legal analyst here. I'm just, you know, there's nothing really like, it's just me, my thoughts. You know, Joe Namath behind me, my sports icons or heroes behind me, and my thoughts on politics and the economy and the stock market and Trump. And if people are generous and kind enough to support my work, I'm going to give them a shout out. I'm going to give them many shout outs, and I just thank you. Eric Flag, thank you so very, very much. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Love Truck, Cindy Joy, hello. Leisha, hello. I don't know. When I go to the supermarket, I sometimes it's, you know, because, you know, I have to buy the caviar. I have to buy. No, I'm joking. But but you're seeing like some grocery stores, you'll see tuna at like $2.20 per can. It's like, what? How does that happen? Oh my lord. Sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. Ah, Lord almighty. I don't know what. I think it's this computer. I'm telling you, I think it's the computer. I mean, it is the computer because it's just so bizarre. It's just really so bizarre. I don't really understand why this happens at this location. Um, Afram, Asmar, hello. But if you do get kicked off, please go ahead and log back on again. Sorry about that, everybody. I think I have to buy. I have to. DD Win, thank you. I think I have to buy a new computer to tell you the truth. I really think I need to buy Florida Man Bear. That's if things get tough, Florida Man. If I need extra money, I'll have to frighten and you know frighten the entire planet with that. But Indy Joy, hello. For free rain, hello. But it's like, thank you, Ricardo, thank you. So I mean, if you do get logged off, please hit subscribe. And I don't know why this happens. I really don't know why this happens. Sometimes it's definitely not the internet connection because the internet connection was boosted. So the cable guy came, and it's in this location. So um, it's this computer. There's something wrong with this computer. So just bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Getting back to food costs, they obviously look. Dow drops 600 points. Nasdaq closes 3% lower as rates pop after jobs reports. So they keep on talking about how unemployment is at like record lows. It was at record lows, ladies and gentlemen, 2 years ago. Okay. Ephraim will just endless investigations, impeachment, a whole bunch of great, awesome things. It was at record lows 2 years ago. Okay, going on 3 years ago. Okay, pretty soon it will be, in a couple of months, it will be January of 2023. Okay, in January of 2022, ladies and gentlemen, in January of 2022, um, in January of 2022, we had record low unemployment. Okay. Um, in January of 2022, we had record low. In January of 2020, we had record low unemployment. In the past, almost going on 3 years, we have shut down the American economy, slowly brought it back up. Biden's administration has gone to battle with the oil and gas industry, made energy more expensive. This is a fact. Done nothing to protect the climate because he begs for oil from other countries, as he makes it difficult for oil and gas companies to work in the U.S. DD Win, thank you. I mean, are people still getting knocked off? I mean, let's see. What is going on with this? Is so annoying. Oh my God, it's so annoying. So, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. So, what they've done, ladies and gentlemen, is, so yeah, if you do log back on, it should work. It should work. But what they've done is made life more difficult. Okay, they've made life more difficult, ladies and gentlemen. But we have real wages down over 4 to 5%. So America saw the most severe pay cut in 25 years under Biden, the most severe pay cut with inflation. So real wages, you look with taxes and real wages, if you make 70 a year, you're really taking home 48. And so if you look and read, researchers of the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas published new findings that calculated real wages. We find that a majority of employed real inflation-adjusted wages have failed to keep up with inflation. For these workers, the median decline in real wages is a little more than 8.5%. The median decline is 8.5%. Okay? Now, I'm not exactly sure if they're saying real wages have gone down 8.5%, because in other estimates, it's down 4.4 to 5%. So taken together, these outcomes appear to be the most severe faced by employed workers over the past 25 years. 8.5% in real wages down. What did Trump do to these people? What did Trump do to these people that they'd rather have real wages down by that percentage? What did people, I mean, you would rather have Eric, thank you again for the super chat. You would rather have this, when they say, well, Trump, he's a menace to democracy. Is this democracy? Is this democracy? This is democracy. An American economy where you're actually losing money in your paycheck and you're facing nuclear possible Armageddon. Exactly, Eric. I will. Let's look at the Baltic Dry Shipping Index. Here, we can just go ahead and his warning. Gee, like anyone really cares what he says about anything. We already know what's taking. He's like a weatherman that tells you when it's raining and you're like being drenched with rain. But here, um, Baltic Dry Shipping Index. So you have commerce grinding to a halt around the world. So commerce, shipping, grinding to a halt. Rising rates send Baltic Dry Shipping Index to 10-week peak. So everything's now more expensive as the economy erodes. Increasing wages. Increasing wage gains forcing pay cuts for American workers. And then you have yearly basis. On a yearly basis, real average hourly earnings declined 3.6%. When combined with a 0.9% a decrease, it's 4.4 down 4.4%, and this was in July. It's now worse. If I'm reading that correctly, it's 8.5%. The median decline in real wages is a little more than 8.5%. So it's like what do you gain? Like what do you gain by what is it that's gained by voting Democrat? I don't understand that. I don't get it. I don't get why people would vote Democrat. I do not understand it at all. I don't get it. I don't understand it. They're like, oh, Republicans are extreme. You can't name an extreme policy or position. What is extreme? The extreme position is going up against the oil and gas industry when you need fossil fuels. So they talk about, oh, this Republican is a hypocrite. All you have is hypocrites within the Democratic Party. They talk about and pontificate about climate and the environment and the planet, and then they pump and let loose 180 million barrels of strategic oil reserves, then beg other countries, and then OPEC and other countries give Biden the middle finger. And they say, nah, we're going to cut production by 2 million barrels a day. So you cut production by 2 million barrels a day, and oil prices are going to go back up. But see, that's the thing. That's why they want to go after Trump. You look at Justice Department asking if Trump stashed documents. They already know. They haven't. If he committed a crime, here's how you know. An investigation with Hunter is just running out the clock. They're investigating so they don't have to actually make a decision on indicting him, which would hurt Democrats before midterms. The political component is right there in everyone's face to see. Okay? It's right there for everyone to see. They don't want to indict Hunter, so they have to investigate him forever. And so, exactly, Eric. Yeah, I agree. They don't want to investigate. They don't really want to indict Hunter, so they investigate him. And now, because the criminal activity is there, like, you don't really need this wide, like, this year-long, like, you have all the evidence. They have all the evidence they need. They're slow-walking everything because they know it's not good politically for their side. Okay? That's what's going on. Now, conversely, when people say, oh, nothing's ever going to happen, there's nothing that they can do with Hunter that's going to work out because you have Republicans taking over the House. Ladies and gentlemen, you have the Durham probe next Tuesday. Okay? He'll get 1 conviction out of 5. He'll get the Durham probe. I mean, people just like with Sussman, like, that's it. Nobody cared anymore. I don't get it. I understand that, like, it was disappointing, but my God, you still have a special counsel. Oh, nothing's ever going to happen. Nothing's ever going to happen. It's like, you still have a special counsel. You still have a special counsel. So it's like the trial is literally this coming Tuesday. It's literally in a couple of days. I mean, this is a huge, then you have midterms. So, I mean, there's so many things going on, and people are like, oh, well, nothing's ever going to happen with Hunter. He's going to get off. Everything. You can't always engage in criminality. At the end of the day, like I told, I said this in 2016 when I was talking to people about, I said this in 2016 when people were like, oh, that's all you have? Oh, wow, they cheated Bernie, big deal. Oh, and they were gleeful in 2016 when the DNC emails came out. They're like, oh, that's all you have? Haha, nothing. Campaign emails, that's all you have? Nothing. And I said, you can't continue to revel in criminality and corruption. Eventually, you're going to fail because the weight of your corruption is going to be too much. So they ended up losing to Trump like I said they would. So it's like, unfortunately, I said they're going to tank the economy in 2021. They did. I mean, you look, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have the House. We're very likely going to have the Senate too. Okay? And the fact that Democrats are even competitive in this economic environment is a testament to all of media. All of media. like propping up and basically working for the Democratic Party. The like Democratic voters, they actually think that that's reality. When media bolsters their inaccurate viewpoints on a bunch of things, they think it's reality. Like the way they work is this is generally the Democratic Party voters' mentality. If everyone is saying something and you sprinkle in a couple of experts, and if everyone is saying the same thing, then it must be right. Okay? The majority is always right to the morally superior, highly educated. Individualism or dissent, skepticism is deemed as blasphemy. You have blasphemed. You have committed heresy. Okay? If you don't abide by you've committed like absolute like blasphemy if you don't abide by the prevailing mentality on everything. So when Kanye West is amazing, Kanye West went on Tucker Carlson, and that's a true uh, individual. Kanye West is a real individual man, human being. Um, he doesn't follow the herd. He's not into groupthink. That used to be like you could look at like bands from like the Ramones, or you can even look at like it's interesting, like the bands that used to be individualistic or like proud to kind of, go up against the mainstream. Now they're just, I mean, you have rock bands that are kicking out members of the rock band because they disagree with the mainstream. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. Like the whole point of punk and rock and roll, the whole entire point is that you're going to be offering a dissent here and there. That's the whole point. It's the whole point. Exactly, Sigma. That's the whole point. Like you see like the music industry, or at least like bands back in the day in the maybe 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, they would they would break the mold. You would break the mold. Now it's like if you don't follow the herd, you're a big problem. How on earth did that happen? How on earth did that happen? I mean, you had like the Pistols, the Ramones, Motorhead. Um, these bands and these artists were unique. They didn't care what the Federal Bureau of Investigation and aging Hollywood producers thought about a political issue. They didn't care at all. And so it's like you have a situation where you have a situation where media is propping up. Politics had to enter every aspect of American life for Democrats to even survive politically. If this is the same political environment as 2012 or 2008 or any time before 2016, Republicans run away with it. And believe me, it has nothing to do with Trump being extreme. People loved Trump before 2016. This is a concerted effort by everyone from CNN to the Washington Post to Hollywood producers to intelligence operatives to loyalists within the U.S. government to prop up a failed political party and turn it against one man. So that's why they're going after Trump Tower now. That's why they're going at, and the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, like you have a lot to be excited about. People are just like, oh, nothing's ever gonna happen. Give the Durham probe special counsel trial next week. And the thing is, they never found anything on Trump, but every day you'd have all of media obsessing over the Mueller probe. Every single day you'd have all of media obsessing over the Mueller probe. You know? I mean, that was like huge news. They were like, Mueller time, Mueller time. Nothing happened. Exactly, Don. They didn't find anything in Mar-a-Lago. Aside from declassified documents or documents they couldn't indict Trump on. But it's just, look, everything's going to start. Look, you have a whole lot of stories coming up. It'll be very interesting because within the span of 2 to 3 months, Hunter will either get a plea deal, which will be investigated endlessly by Republicans, or an indictment, which will also be investigated endlessly by Republicans. Republicans will impeach mashed potato brains Joe immediately in 2023, as they should. This man is like completely incompetent. Everyone knows that when you have somebody who's saying hello to deceased politicians, hey, man, there's Abe Lincoln, man. Hey, is he here? Is Abe Lincoln here? Paging Abe Lincoln. When you have a president who's saying hello to deceased lawmakers and slurring his speech and bumbling and like almost finding it hard to continue breathing as he's speaking, I feel bad for the person as a human being. I feel bad for him as a human being. Okay, it's painful to watch this man speak. It's painful to watch this man try to muster up enough energy to finish a sentence. But see, this is what they consider normal and good. They would rather have this, a terrible economy with somebody who could barely survive finishing a sentence, and a geopolitical nightmare in Europe than Trump. It's actually not even about, exactly. It's not even about um it's not even about whether or not the economy is good or the country is doing well. It's about power, political power. That's what this is about, political power. They really don't care about anything. It is .com. It is. It is. What they're doing to this man, Democrats, if God forbid he can't take the pressure or the stress anymore, it would be Democrats who will have ruined this poor man's life. Okay? They just wanted a warm body, anything to replace Trump. And they know, this is what's so absurd about everything. They know that everyone else sees what they're seeing. They know that everyone else is in awe and like flabbergasted that the greatest country in the world would allow this to happen. They know that. They know that. They don't care though. You have to understand they don't care. You have to understand that like I said, this is about political power. It's about political power. They just want to control American politics. And if you've noticed, they don't govern to make things better. They govern to just like check off a list. They have a bucket list of things they want to accomplish. Just a bucket list. That's it. They just have a bucket list of things they want to accomplish. And that's it. They really don't care about anything else. You look, CNN, Justice Department insists Trump return all classified documents. If you watch the on this channel, the shorts, you will hear President Obama, you will hear James Comey. You'll hear President Obama and James Comey basically exonerate Trump. And that's basically what'll happen. Like, you will hear it if you watch the shorts on this channel. They didn't care when Clinton was siphoning classified data outside servers. They actually covered up an obvious crime. It wasn't just like a question, like it wasn't just, it was just a miscommunication. These were secret servers that the United States government technically didn't have access to. I don't exactly believe that, but That's an obvious crime. It's an obvious crime. And so, again, like people say, well, they always cover up their own criminal activity and nothing's ever going to happen. And it's like, well, ladies and gentlemen, we have 4 years now. We will have 4 years of the House of Representatives being Trump Republican. Okay, they're going to immediately impeach Joe. And they don't even have to truly investigate. They don't need like eyewitness accounts. They already have Tony Bubala. So they don't need, they're like with Trump, his impeachments, you had like 4 academics. You had 2 or 3 academics who despised Trump. They were liberal Democrats. You could like tell the liberal Democrat of today was the Bush Republican of 2003 or 2002, like this like self-righteous, morally superior person. And they were like, oh, well, we've never seen this before. And Trump did this. Like, well, you couldn't even prove a crime. You couldn't even prove a crime. They couldn't even prove a crime with Trump. You could actually prove a crime with this. You can actually prove a crime with Hunter and Joe and that whole family. Graft and bribery are criminal acts. Okay. When you say, well, there's no evidence of graft and bribery, there's more evidence of bribery and graft than there ever was. With Trump working as a Kremlin operative. They had to literally fabricate that. Trump didn't have to fabricate Hunter's emails or the 150 suspicious or 160 suspicious financial transactions. Okay, he didn't have to fabricate anything. It was right there. He never had to fabricate anything. So you have a situation where they didn't need, like, you didn't need a Steele dossier. Like, Trump doesn't need a Steele dossier, nor would they ever allow him to get away with that. Okay? And the only thing they have on Trump, they start investigations just with the lamest pretext, like, oh, well, we have an informant. Then they find out their informants lied to them. See, that's the thing that Durham has to watch out for. He has to watch out for the Steele dossier subsource on Tuesday saying, well, the Bureau wasn't deceived. Because that's what Sussman said, and he got away with it. If the Federal Bureau of Investigation is in on everything and they just want Trump through any means necessary, if they just want to get Trump, that's going to be a different thing. Exactly. Did he win? Exactly. There isn't anything on Trump. I was watching a Larry King episode interviewing Trump in 2013. He said that Trump was one of his favorite people in the world. He started off the interview saying, yeah, Donald Trump's one of my favorite people in the entire world. And you look, ladies and gentlemen, let's really quickly. That's a Q&A. No, not that. Let's start a poll. Will John Durham get what the heck? Okay. Will John Durham get a conviction after Tuesday's Durham probe trial of Steele dossier source? Let's see what people. So we had a poll the other night. So let's see what. Will John Durham get a conviction? Yes or no? Give me your thoughts. Come on, people. We got 224 before the live stream kicks everyone off. He was. Duke Chronic, he was. Let's go, everybody. I need your vote. I need your vote. Will John Durham get a conviction? Tell me, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Come on now, man. Come on now. You got only 10 people out of 220. Come on. Come on, man. Cornflakes will be upset with you. Come on. Come on, man. Come on. Come on, people now. Come on. Smile on your brother. Come on. Let's go, everybody. Come on. Yes, 25 votes. Give me 40 votes. Come on now. Joshua, I agree with you. So, Elizabeth, yes. So, I mean, you could be right, Duke Chronic. If he doesn't get a conviction, Terry, if he doesn't get a conviction, it pains me to say this. That'll mean John Durham is just not a very good prosecutor. He did prosecute. He already prosecuted years back a Federal Bureau of Investigation official. Sent the man to prison for a long, long time. So, but you have 5 counts. You have 5 counts with a dossier that was completely fabricated. So, I mean, to say that you didn't lie, it's like you did lie. None of the information was true. Okay? None of the information was true. But I mean, it's starting Tuesday. The thing is, the Trump Republican House is going to investigate Durham probe. Trump Republican House is going to investigate Durham probe revelations. So if he ends it, he writes the report. The entire report will be incriminating. But they didn't. Here's the thing: when they're like, oh well, the Durham probe didn't really find any of Trump's claims. The Mueller probe found none of the claims of Democrats. When they say, well, Durham found out there was a concerted effort by the Kremlin to interfere. He was regurgitating what Clapper and Brennan said. We already heard that. There was one. There were one journalist and one liberal YouTuber debating. This was a couple of years back, and the liberal YouTuber couldn't admit, of course, that the Durham probe was a complete failure. So he was like, you don't agree that the Durham probe, that the Mueller probe. And he's like, you don't agree that the Mueller probe found out there was a concerted effort to interfere? And it was like, what was the effort to interfere? They were regurgitating the same dumb accusations made by intel officials because they couldn't find an actual plot. They couldn't find an actual, they couldn't find Trump actually working to, they couldn't find Donald Trump working with any operatives to interfere in anything. Exactly, Joe, exactly. And hopefully this time around, Durham had a little bit more input on the jury. Like, you can't have people who gave money to the DNC. You just can't do that. You can't have people on the jury that gave money to the DNC. It's like, that should be disqualifying. When they say, well, I could be objective. No, you cannot be objective. Okay? You cannot be objective. Okay? And I mean, like, it's like being a football fan. You know, I'm like a big USC Trojan fan. Okay? I can't be objective with UCLA or Notre Dame. Just can't do it. It can't just be objective. Whatever that means in the context of, your team versus a rival. If you despise Trump, you are not going to be objective when it comes to any of these Durham probe trials. So they should, one of the questions should be, do you despise Trump? I mean, it's not difficult. It's really not difficult. They're always asking for people to recuse himself. He has to recuse himself. Oh, no, to recuse himself. This person needs to recuse himself. It's like, okay, where are the judges appointed by Bill Clinton or President Obama? Did they recuse themselves? No, absolutely not. Exactly, Duke, exactly. You hope for calls to go your way. If you think that the Kremlin interfered and assaulted the country and democracy, then you're going to look at the Durham probe trial as, just revenge by Trump. And then one of the jurors actually in the assessment thing, well, we have more things to worry about. Why did you even, if you think that there were more important things to worry about, why did you even accept being on the jury? You should have told the judge that you think there's more important things to worry about. Exactly, Derek. That's true. There could be no conviction, but a lot of information, which nobody will accept, unfortunately. It'll be like the same thing. Uh, it'll be like, oh, nothing's ever gonna happen. Nothing's ever gonna happen. Well, things are gonna happen with this. So you look down 600 points today. I don't care if Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert sell their soul to Satan for Democrats to get the Senate. It's going to be very difficult for them to keep the Senate with a. It's going to be very difficult for them to keep the Senate with a stock market crashing before everyone's eyes. And that's like another thing I don't get. Like all the policies that people at Martha's Vineyard even don't like. Like people want a reformed. People want reform when it comes more of a conservative approach. Look at what took place in Martha's Vineyard was a conservative approach. Immediately, those human beings were sent out. These are from the liberals. Liberals become Trump Republicans within 2 seconds when they actually experience the repercussions of their policies. Liberal Democrats become Trump Republicans within a nanosecond. When oil prices go up, drill, baby, drill. Or flood strategic petroleum reserves. But see, the thing is, they're conniving with themselves. They deceive them. They love to deceive themselves. We're not drilling. We're taking strategic petroleum reserves. We feel better about ourselves. We feel better about ourselves. We're not drilling, actually. We're not really drilling. We're just, like they don't see it as they're like, oh, yeah, net zero emissions in 30 years to protect the climate. How are you going to get that when you've released 180 million barrels of oil? How on earth are you going to get to that point? Like, it doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for them to you know, pretend to get to that point. So, and then the whole thing with electric car vehicles, I don't get. I swear to God, I don't get the allure because you're saving money, but then at the same time, there's you better make sure that you've charged the battery at all times. You don't want to be in a situation where you're away from a charging station because then you're just not going to drive. So you don't want to be in a situation where you're away from the charging station. Um, and if you have to charge and you're in a desolate location and it takes 5 to 10 minutes, I don't really know if you want to be in that situation in a blue state or a blue city. Okay, there are people openly consuming narcotics, and I'm saying that in the most diplomatic manner, without any fear or repercussion. Like, there used to be a time where if you were to do that openly, as like families and, kids from school and like, women are just walking on the street, going to, the supermarket or whatever. Like, there used to be a time where if you did that, you would go to jail. Now, there's the people who could potentially harm, the people who have had, let's put it this way. How do I say this in the most diplomatic manner? For whatever reason, and anyone could end up, like, I truly believe that at any point in time, people could make choices or bad things can happen to people. And, a series of events could take place for a person to become homeless. I do believe that. But at the same time, there are a great number of people who have made decisions that led them to a very, terrible situation. Okay. There are also issues where some people are just unstable, and you don't want potential predators to be near, um, family or people, like, vulnerable people, whether it's old people, whether it's school children. You don't want that in society. You want to protect the most vulnerable. You don't want to engage in this like warped pseudo intellectual compassion. It's not even compassion. When it's down 20+%, that's something. When down 30+% uh, year to date, it's something in the Nasdaq. But ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back probably 9:30 tonight. So be here 9:30 p.m. Pacific tonight. We'll do another live stream, ladies and gentlemen. To my super chat, thank you so much. We will try to talk about a more interesting topic. I think people are like, there's a lot of people that don't think, like, we're going into midterms, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see a complete pendulum shift. They do, Valerie, they do. I mean, natural gas runs the electric grid. 9:30 p.m. Pacific, we'll go in, we'll talk about some other issues. But I don't think people realize that within a week, we have the Durham probe trial, very likely going to lead to a conviction. Within 2 to 3 weeks, no, about 4 weeks from now, we have the House going Trump Republican, not just Republican, Trump Republican. Impeachment is immediate. So there's a lot to be excited about, ladies and gentlemen. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe. Be here at 9:30 tonight p.m. Pacific. And to my super chat, Eric, thank you so very much. D'Artagnan, everybody here, thank you so much. I'll see you at 9:30 tonight, everybody. Thank you so much.